Hello and welcome back to Danielle's Desk. Today we are going to do a mid-year flip through and check-in of both of my book planners. So I have two book planners. If this is your first time here, I get a lot of questions on why I have two book planners. I have two book planners because I love them. I am an avid reader and book planners make me happy, just like other people have tons of planners. I just have two book planners. They do the exact same thing. They say the exact same thing. They just make me happy. I get a lot of questions about this over on Instagram. So I thought it would be fun to just kind of see where I am with my reading, how many books I've read, that sort of thing. We're going to be taking a look at my Peanut Butter Taco book planner, which I will have both of these linked below the websites where you can purchase. I'll have a code for one, but not a code for Peanut Butter Taco, but she does have the undated book planners available on her Etsy shop. So we'll take a look at this. And then we will also take a look at the Creating & Co. B6 disc, which you can, this is the type of planner that you can build yourself. So you can just kind of pick and choose what elements you want in them. And this is available with a code, which I will have linked below on her website. We're going to start with the Peanut Butter Taco. Just FYI, the kind of like pre-order will happen, I believe, sometime in October. I do believe. And then she ships out before the first of the year. We usually have a Facebook live that will happen where she will reveal the prototype for the planner, the color, and all of those things. If you're just interested in kind of specifics about it. And so I will have maybe one video linked below in case you just kind of want maybe see it playing with me or something like that. I will have something linked below. I'm going to zoom you out just a tad so you can see things a little better. There we are. So nothing really hasn't changed with the front of the planner. I think this is the newest kind of die cut that I got. I got this the last new release that she had, I think. And so I just placed it on the front. I have a couple more die cuts that are in the back as well. These are my books that I've read so far. It's just a bookshelf, nothing fancy or anything like that. So I'm probably going to use this sheet as an overflow. That's what I did last year because I know that I'm going to be reading more books than there are books on the bookshelf. So as far as most anticipated, I'm doing really well. I've been trying to keep up with books or read these books as they come out. And so I've kind of caught up. We're in July right now, so I was a teenage slasher just released, but for the most part I've done really well. I'm currently reading Middle of the Night by Riley Sagar. It's okay. So far it's not a 4-star. It's kind of hanging there at a 3, which doesn't surprise me. I haven't read any reviews or anything like that, but like I said, I've done pretty well with keeping up with everything, so pretty proud of myself. We're going to do a goal check-in, but these are my initial goals that I set for myself, and there is a space right at the end of June where we will take a look at how I'm doing. Here is my January setup, and I'm just going to quickly flip through. I know that I've done videos where I've done kind of like flip throughs or anything like that, but I'm just going to quickly flip through my spreads so you can kind of get an idea of how I've done things. This point, I've said it before, this is the week that my dad had his accident, so you will see a time or two where you will see some blank weeklies, and it just is what it is. I am still grieving and going through that whole thing. I do utilize this section right before the monthly wrap-up for any book releases. In the month of January, I read 11 books. And here we are with February, which I love to decorate. Love to decorate Februaries. And like I said, it's you're going to see a lot of blank. And all of February was blank. And so I did end up reading 10 books, though, in the month of February. And here we are with March. Got the little bunnies and the traditional Easter. love this. This is probably one of my favorite in here. And of course these. So love that. And I utilize this space right after my weeklies for whatever book that we're reading for the PBT book club. And I managed to fit in 15 books for the month of March. And we have April. So love the florals. Just really bright and fun. I like to go with kind of like the themes of the season and that type of thing. I love to do that. And I squeezed in 13 books for the month of March. And we move to May. So fun with the fruits and everything. And of course, this is my all-time favorite. I am a huge Scooby-Doo fan, so I was tickled pink to know that Robin's Plaininess had came out with some stickers for that. And I read 13 books for the month of May, and here we are, April. And these stickers from The Wizard of Oz I had been hoarding for over 2 years, y'all. Like, I finally used it. Like, I would look at it and be like, I'm gonna use it, I'm gonna use it. And then, yeah, never happened. Finally used them. And did some fun Flintstones. We also did a home run readathon over at PBT, which was super fun. I did not plan for the last week in June, but so fun. And I did 13 books, so it seemed like 13 has kind of been the magic number. I always try to shoot for 10 books. When I do my pre-planning for my TBR, I always try to do 10 books. So it's nice to see any numbers above 10. So here is my check-in, my mid-year report. So far I've read 75 books and I am doing well. I'm on schedule, or at least a book ahead of schedule. So that's pretty good. I've read over 27,000 pages, which is incredible, insane when you actually put that like numbers on paper. It's like, it doesn't feel that, but 27,000. My most disappointed book was Ruth the Ware, One Perfect Couple, which is her new release, which I was surprised but not surprised, because Ruth the Ware for me is a hit or miss. But for whatever reason, us like thriller, horror, which this was, I feel like more horror maybe, you know, like we still keep coming back to her. Like she comes out with a new book and we still keep coming back, even though the book prior wasn't the best. So I don't know. I just feel like that her writing is kind of evolving a little bit. I'm not sure if you are a Ruth Ware reader, but comment down below and let me know if you feel the same about her, if you've read a good majority of her books. But I feel like they're kind of moving into another direction, but I could be wrong. But that was the most disappointing for me. And then what I plan on picking up soon is I Was a Teenage Slasher. That is the new Stephen Jones book. So I'm excited about reading that. And then my top books of the quarter, or not the quarter, of the 6 months, is The Glittering Hour, which was a Dollar Tree find. That is a wonderful historical fiction novel. The Last Murder at the End of, what was it called? The End of the Road, I think it is. That was a 5-star, and The Prisoner's Throne. And there were several more, obviously 5-star, but that's what I have. And so as far as a goal check-in, again, 75 of 150. 150 is a goal. I think year before last I did like 162 or something like that, but 150 is typically a goal of mine. Pop Sugar has always been a struggle, and I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but I have not fulfilled any prompts. I probably have fulfilled prompts, but I just haven't. Every time I go to look at that Pop Sugar, it's so daunting that I just do not want to fill it in. So I've just kind of gave up on it. I really have. It's just, I've given up on it. So far I've completed the spring reading challenge for Creating & Co, and I'm almost done with the summer. So I am on track with that. No bookish collabs. That was one of my goals, was to do a bookish collab, and no one has reached out to me, and I don't know, it's never on my mind to say, hey, let's do like read a book together or do some type of bookish collab. I've done one live on peanut butter taco. I did it the first part of the year, and I continue to share my spread, so I am pretty active on the peanut butter taco Facebook group. And then I had a goal of like 5K over on Freckle Girl Danielle. That's my Instagram page. I'm at 4,600. So that's kind of where I am as far as a goal check-in is concerned. I do want to move to my challenges that are at the back of the book. The alphabet challenge, which I'm doing pretty good. I'm actually almost done. I have the really crazy alphabets, Q, V, Y, Z, and X left. So I'll complete those at the last part of the year. Rainbow, doing really well. I just have like this fuchsia color, I do believe, that's left. So I'll, get something with the fuchsia color. I haven't done anything with the Lucky Duck challenge. This is a challenge that's done on PBT. I have everything here for it. Like, I keep my little ducks out, but I don't know why I don't stick a duck on there and fulfill these prompts. So maybe this is something that I can try to do the last 6 months of the year. I know I've done some of these, so I really need to go through and kind of check those off, the ones that I have done. I don't watch much TV or much cinema, but I know that there are things that I have done. I just need to make time to go in and just do some. I still have a few cover challenges, but for the most part, I'm doing pretty good with this. Is specific to peanut butter taco, but I have a few that I need to complete. These are all blank pages, and then here are the rest of my die cuts. This is kind of where I like to store my die cuts at. So as I get them from PBT or whatever, I'll just put them here. And so that is the update, the 6-month check-in update for my PBT. So let's move on to Creating & Co. So Creating & Co, this is not the original like setup that I had at the beginning of the year. I just recently changed things. I think I did a video on that as well. I'll have that one linked below for you in case you missed it. But I'm doing something totally different, because if you would look at this, it doesn't look like a book planner at all. It looks like a regular planner. So this is the first time I've ever done something like this. I've always had some type of bookish element to let you know that this is a bookish planner, but I did something totally different. I like it, but I don't like it. Don't be surprised if like I'm gonna go back to like my bookish type setup, but that's what kind of separates it from the rest of my planners, is having that bookish touch to it. So as far as I think I've shown this before, but I quickly filled this up. I think this was the first 50 books that I read for 2024, and you just put the little stars in there, and so I did that. Most anticipated is just as much as the same as the other one. Again, I'm doing very well with this one as well. Here are my 5-star, and I didn't show those in here, but I did have them. I forgot to show them here, but these are my 5-star, and they're the same as this right here, but I do have a page here that's called Standout Stack, which are 5 stars that I write in there, and as you can see, it's not very much. The last one that I read was Murder Your Employer, which was so fun and whimsical. I highly recommend if you just need a lighthearted, funny, humorous book. It was so good. I love that. That was a 5-star. Really, I didn't anticipate that being a 5-star, but it was. So, oh, it's The Last Murder at the End of the World, not road, world. But anyway, so this is not typical for me. I normally have quite a bit of 5 stars. So I'm hoping that in the next 6 months, like I can start reading a little bit more, 5 stars. Like, I'm kind of stingy with my 5 stars. I give more 4s out than anything, but it's never been like this low. And to be honest with you, the first 3 are all nonfiction. So if you take those out, I only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the story is not even a fiction. It's more like a nonfiction. So you could say 1, 2, 3, 4. I've only had 4 fiction 5 stars. I don't know. It hasn't been good. I read all my books, so this is always blank. And I finally filled in my Battle of the Books. And so this is where I am so far. So I basically put Iron Flame up against It's Okay That You're Not Okay, which is probably not a good comparison because one is a fiction and one is a nonfiction. And of course, Iron Flame which pretty popular book, beat that one. And then I did The Glittering Hour, which was the one that I told you that I love so much. And then The Prisoner's Throne and The Glittering Hour won. And so with round 3, A Glittering Hour won. And then we have the reappearance of Rachel Price and The Last Murder at the End of the World, and The Last Murder won. And then I did Where Sleeping Girls Lie, which I highly recommend. And then Out There Screaming, which is just a collection of a lot of different authors. And then Where Sleeping Girls Lie won. And then between these two was The Last Murder. And between these two were The Glittering Hour. I love that book so much. And so I've already got everything all set up for the last half of the year. And so we'll do much of the same, the Battle of the Books, for July through December. Just like PBT, here are the bookshelves. And so here are all my bookshelves, and I have plenty to keep me going, so I don't have to like add in any type of dot grid or anything like that. And then these are my monthlies. I've shown this here before, but here is January and February, March. Then we have April, one of my favorites, and May. Who doesn't love avocados? June, did a fun like Sesame Street because I love it. I had a Cookie Monster pen from Boutique Charms that I loved so much. I just thought it was so cute. And I haven't done July yet. And then here we are with weeklies. So I don't do weeklies in here often. It's not something that I continuously do. I only do it if we have readathons or book challenges or something like that. And so that's all you'll see in here. The peanut butter taco one is the only one that I consistently do like week to week. So there we are. I think the next one that I'm going to do is going to be Shark Week, which I'm really late with, but I do want to plan with this. So I'm just going to slide that in here. Here are my pre-planning sheets. And so these are nothing like just elaborate and fun, but it just kind of gives me an idea of new releases that are coming out, any books that I want to carry over that I didn't read for the month prior, any challenges that are coming up, anything that I want to notate as far as bookish related things. I use these pre-planning sheets. So they're just not meant to be like all pretty and things like that, but and then the next section, we have my TBR. And so as I read them, I do kind of, you know, mark them off and things like that. So I think I may be missing a few that I need to mark off. But usually my TBR, always, the deco always matches whatever my monthly is. And then I've already written in July, just haven't decorated anything. I'm sort of behind in this because I took a couple of weekends off, but that's okay. Here are the book releases. So all new releases that come out, I put them here, and I also check them if I read them. So again, these are not like a full list of all book releases that are out for that month. These are just ones that are on my radar. And then we have for July, we had a really big new release month in June. Next section is going to be my wrap-ups. So with these, I have to bring in some extra sheets because they only give you slots for 8. And obviously, I read more than 8 books. So I just bring in these old sheets from Creating & Co. and I just use the front and the back as a carryover. So that's why you kind of see different sheets here and things out of order. It's because I have to do it that way. So pretty much everything is the same as I showed you in PBT. It's just it's lined up a little bit differently. This one allows me to have like stars and things like that for each book and everything, and then also gives like just kind of like a summation of what I did for that month, like how many books I read, how many hours I listened to, what was my favorite book, that type of thing. And I do love this section a lot. A lot of my followers over on Instagram really look at this section because they really do care about, like, we'll have very similar reading tastes. That's why they follow me. And so they'll say like, okay, like I need to mark that down, or they'll take a screenshot or something like that. So here's April, got May, there's June, and then this is what I've read so far in July. So and I'll do that like when I go to update my book planners, I'll go ahead and mark like what the book I read and then what the rating. I already wrote in middle of the night. I'm just waiting to finish it up, which will probably be today that I finish that up, wrap it up. And then I have my library books. So I do check out a good majority of my books that I read. And so I just put them here, just kind of keep a list of books when I check them out and then when I need to return them. And then here, these are the books that I buy. So the majority of these are from Book of the Month. I did a huge D-stash of 126 books a couple of months ago. And so, or last month, was it June? Yes, it was June. And so I'm trying to be more aware of books that I purchase. Like if I go to garage sales, I need it to be intentional. And then usually if it's something that I do pick up and I don't want to keep in my collection, I go ahead and donate it. So I bring it with me to the library. So when I go, to check out a book or check in a book, I will bring the actual book that I want to donate to the library with me. So those are just books that I bought. Like I said, the majority is Book of the Month. That's where I get all of my books from. And then in this section is all of my challenges. And so this is specific to Creating and Co. This is our annual book challenge. It's called Book Cover Scavenger Hunt. And I'm still holding at about 4 prompts that are left. This is my alphabet, so it's going to be the same as in PBT, the same alphabets that are still missing, but, doing well. This was our spring reading challenge, which was super fun, and I love the fact that Paige did kind of like its own bookshelf for it. I thought that was super cute. So this was one of my goals, was to complete that, and so we did a book bingo, and then this is my second sheet for my spring bookshelf. Here is a romance challenge that I did in February. I think I actually completed this in March because February was a tough month for me. This is summer, so this is what I'm currently doing. I have 3 prompts that are left that hopefully I can knock out in the month of August. And I have my bookshelves. This is the second one, and this is the one that I'm already filling in. And so I just pulled over a second one because I know that I would need one. Here is Read the Rainbow. This is an old challenge that I believe came out last year that I finally got to. So I did that when I actually need to do the coordinating weekly kit with it. This is a reading challenge or readathon that we did. This is a readathon that we did as well. Here is that infamous Pop Sugar that is just, like I said, I know I've completed prompts. I just don't feel like going through it. It's so long and daunting. That's it. Next year, I am not doing it. I just added the Reese Witherspoon, and I've completed a couple of them. The Unwedding is one that I completed that I just wrapped up. I gave a 3-star. So I'm actually going to be reading all of these. I started this month. So in 6 months, I'm going to read all of the books that she has for her picks. I haven't been like blown away. None of them have been like 4-star, I don't think, or 5. They've all been like 3. So I can tell you, I don't particularly like her reading style. I'm going to be honest with you, her taste. These are my book badges. So as I complete things, then I will check them off. And these are my spring superlatives, those that I gave awards to. So, of course, The Glittering Hour made the best book overall. I had Wayward, which was a beautiful cover. The reappearance of Rachel Price was my favorite standalone. As far as series, The Prisoner's Throne, which is number 2 in the Holly Black series, Just for the Summer was my favorite ending. And then most anticipated release was The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo, which I did already read. And then here are my superlatives that I will give at the end of summer. And then this is going to be for the end of the year. So nothing hasn't really changed as far as that. I've added a couple of more challenges. This is that weekly that I was talking about, the Read the Rainbow that I need to do. And that is the update, the mid-year update for both planners. Like I said, I will have them linked below. If you have any questions about anything that I have in either one of these planners, please just leave that question down below. I'm pretty responsive, but thank you so much for joining me today in looking at both of my planners. If you enjoyed doing that, please give the video a thumbs up. If you would like to see more bookish content from me, consider subscribing, and I hope that you have a wonderful day. Bye.